Let's take a look at doing some advanced work with the display system in AutoCAD Architecture. So what I'm going to do in this demonstration is show you some advanced level of control over the display of your objects regardless of the view orientation. So if you watch the previous video on this display system, you'll have an overview of the representations by objects, the sets and the configurations, and how they're related to view orientation. So in this overview, we're going to tweak that information a little bit to have a new level of control over the display of your objects that you may never have seen before. So as before, I'll start off with a wall in the same type of blank drawing that I did the previous video in. And I will just draw the wall out a little bit so I have something to anchor to. Now what I'm going to do is introduce a door from our content library. We have doors. I'm going to go to commercial doors and jump in here. Now I'm going to pick one specifically with glass in it and insert that one. Now these doors are highly customized. They have trim, they have kick panels, they have hardware such as the hand levers, the 88 compliant levers, and a glass. So we'll go ahead and insert this one and bring it in. And I'll go ahead and slide it over a little bit. If I look at this in 3D, you'll see all the goodies that are attached to it. All right, so there's the door, there's the light and the kick panels and the hardware. All right, now in some cases people would prefer to see more information on such type of doors in their, let's call it, high detail plan. For example, if I go to high detail here, I don't really see anything different than in medium, and I've seen requests over the years for at least showing the glass in the door, and I discussed in the previous video how to get the stops if you want the stops in there. But in this one, what I'm going to focus on is getting the glass to show up and the hardware to show up. All right, now so to do that, we're going to have to do a little bit of customization. The first thing we'll do is we'll go to the Display Manager. We're going to go to the Configurations. We're going to find the high detail, not the model one, but the plan one, because the work I'm going to do is for plan use. So I want this, and I'm going to hold my Control key and drag this up to the configurations folder and make a copy. All right, and so I'm going to call this one high. Let's see, what is it? Model high detail for plan. Okay, so that's exactly what it is. It'll have model information, but for use in plan only. Now I'm going to go down to the sets, and I will take the plan high detail and do the same thing. Grab it and call this one model high detail for plan. And now I'm going to go down to the representations by object and decide which objects I would like to show parts or all of themselves in 3D in the plan view. Okay, so if you follow all of that, we'll start with my door, but I will also show you another object. So we'll go to the doors, and what I want now is I want model high detail, and I want to go ahead and drag that up to door here, and then I'm going to rename that. Oops, once you get it in there, you have to drop here to go to the rename. I don't know why you can't just rename right here, but you can't. So go to door, then go over here and right click and rename, and we'll call this model high detail in plan. All right, so I'm using the same name for all of them just so that I can connect them. Now I have this new display representation that is a copy of the model high detail. And it's just check to make sure that I don't have any check marks in here. What I want to do is I want to associate the model high detail in plan with model high detail in plan, which is right here. Okay. What else is checked automatically here? We can see I have plan high detail and I have the threshold plan. Those are all good. You may come back and change those if you wish, but I am actually going to combine two things to produce the planned look. I'm going to borrow some of the model information for plan view and combine it with the regular plan high detail for that door. Okay, so that has been connected to the set. Now we'll go up here to the configurations. Here's the model high detail for plan configuration, and we'll go ahead and assign it to the top view. We'll say model high detail for plan, so that's the set being used in here. And I will go ahead and apply and OK. All right, so now if I go down here and select the configuration model high detail for plan, I get all of the door in plan view, high detail, and also the model information. So I'm seeing both things at the same time. Now they don't jive, so we'll have to go make some modifications. Fortunately, we can just pick on the door, right click, and go to Edit Door Style. And you will see now that the door has that representation we created. It's right here. And I can go ahead and, if I want to do it as a global modification, I can just modify it. If I want to do it as an override to that particular style, I can just do that, which is what I would do. I would do it for that style. So I'm going to do a click here. All right, and then we can take a look at the layer color line type information and decide what part of the 3D model I want to see in plan. So for those people who want to see glass, you probably want to keep this on. And then you will have to decide whether you want to do it by material. I'm going to take material off because this is 3D. This was designed for 3D, not for plan. So whatever the material is set for 3D is probably not going to work out as a good plan view. So you might, if you use color, choose your color here, or you could set the layer or whatever you want. I don't want the stop, and I don't want the frame. I already get all of that stuff. And it's questionable whether or not I even want the panel. Now I have the panel. We can see the panel here and the panel here. But if we're going to have the glass, it works best to keep the 3D panel. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now I said also I would like the hardware. So I'm going to do, just from memory here, see if I can remember our hardware for that. We have, what do we have here? We have the pull side hardware, and I believe it was attached to the right side of the door, minus 2.75. Let's see, bottom 3 feet up, and the leaf component was leaf 1, and then I can see it showing up here. So let's go to it's preset views top, and there it is. So I think I have to go to back. There we go, and OK. And then I'll add the other. This is the other side, and this one leaf single, bottom up 3 feet. Probably don't need the 3 feet because this is for plan view only, but I'm going to do that just because I know that's where it should be. And if I ever popped it into 3D, this is also minus 2.75. And let's go ahead and go to top view. Okay, and that's looking good. So now I've got the hardware in there. And there's also a kick panel, but that would just be a little line down there. No reason to do that. So I'm happy with this information. That's what I want to see. By the way, this hardware is a mass elements. So you're basically seeing the plan view of the mass element. I don't know if that makes sense, but the mass element doesn't know that we're in 3D. Okay, so I've got that custom stuff done. This is looking good. You can see the hardware is here now, so I could turn it on and off. But I'll go ahead and oh, one more thing, we need to go to Other. and we need to take off the override on the swing angle so that both panels match according to the swing angle that you've set on your properties palette. I'll go ahead and click OK, and OK, and voila. So now that opens up. So to test this, go down and change the angle here to 45, and you should see that the door does that. Now you can see that there's different colors here, and I'll tell you why that is occurring. Go back to Edit the Door Style, go back to that new display representation, go back to Layer Color. So the panel here, I forgot to undo that. The panel is done by material. I unchecked that, and now it's going to come in at color 41. So if you go over and you check for Plan High Detail, that's by block. So you probably want to match that up. So I would go back here and I would say color by block. All right, like so, and then OK and OK. So now this should all look the same. It might be a little thicker. There's redundancy of lines. If you were a real sticker to getting this perfect, you would go back and make a copy of the plan display representation so that you could just turn off this the panel in the 2D view. I don't know if that makes sense, but you would need a copy to do that, or you would impact all the other objects. Let's see, I think I might be able to demonstrate that. If I go into Plan High Detail and throw an override and turn the panel off, see, it would go away. So now that's very clean. But I think that would impact when would that? Oh, if I switch to just high detail. Let's see, high detail. Yeah, see, because you need another display representation specifically for that. So let's undo that part. Actually, let's just use undo for that. So that's not a good decision. But if you made a separate display representation just for this particular task, that would work out. Now notice the glass is showing up. And if you were to modify the door in some way, the door has a profile and the glass is a wider piece of glass, that'll show up as well. So I think that pretty much covers how you can do some interesting things on a door. So the second thing I'd like to show is you do it on an object like a curtain wall. So if you've ever wondered about a horizontal curtain wall, take a look at this. So curtain wall, add, let's see, we got a 9-foot curtain wall here. Okay, good. I'll draw it out, let's say 9 feet. Now I'm going to rotate into 3D. All right. I'm going to flip my UCS and rotate the curtain wall horizontally. I'll pick right here and I'm going to flip it down. So in a 3D view, that works great. As soon as you go into top view, though, it doesn't work so great. So what we can do is we can go to the Display Manager, Representation by Object, go to Curtain Wall, and we can take the model display, do this drag and drop thing to make a copy, rename that copy. So model high detail for plan. Oops. All right, and then I'm going to run over here and I'm going to match that up with this one here. Okay, and I'm going to undo the plan high detail for the curtain wall because it serves me no good to just see a line. It won't show anything other than the line. So the only thing I'm going to see now is the model, and then we'll go in here and make sure everything is good. Nothing needs to be changed. And then we'll hit apply and OK. And there it is. All right, so if I switch to just normal high detail, it's going to look like that. It does not like being in the horizontal position, but if you do this little tweak, you now, oops, picked the wrong one. Here we go. Right, you go like that. Now, you might notice some printing issues and some line weight issues because there's some redundancy. Because it thinks it's a 3D model. As you can see, there's this line on top of that line, this line on top of that line. So all those lines are actually on top of each other. However, it's not bad, and you can go in now and you can take something like this and turn it into a skylight, a trellis, a coffered ceiling, all kinds of different things. Now, if you build something like this in your, let's say you have some kind of a template file, or you're just doing like a practice file, to bring all of these settings and everything into a working file. So I'll just make another file and I'll just start one. What you can do is you can actually take any of these objects. I'll just grab them all. I'm going to grab the wall just out of habit. And you can Control C, and you can actually do this, Control V, and you pop them in. And those settings, wait, where did I have this? Oh, my UCS was all out of whack. So here, let's get that taken care of. Let me dump that file and make a new one. All right, and let me grab that stuff again. Now, this works because these objects have overrides on them that bring along the entire display system. So by system, I mean the reps, the sets, and the configs. So because of those overrides, that's why this is working. So I'll go Control C, and I'll do a Control V. And you'll see if you go down here, you'll find now you have model, high detail per plan, and all of those settings come through. And that is because if I go here, this door has an override. So that override brings along that set, which brings along the configuration. Okay, so if you don't have the overrides, this won't work that way. All right, I think that covers this little advanced level of display system modifications.